Greetings, viewers, wherever you're watching this program from. This is a special feature for our weekly program, Sport On, whereby we interact with the sport stars. We talk sport news. We talk anything that is interesting, anything that has happened in this country. But today we are joined all the way from Nairobi by African record holder, the beast from the east, Ferdinand Omanyala.
Yeah,
Omanyala.
Dumelara.
How are you?
I'm good.
I should be making a follow up. I should be saying Lokai. Lokai is how are you?
Oh, okay.
So when I say Dumelara, you say Dumelara, or you say Dumelantate. Then I say Lokai. Then we like Riting, like how are you? I'm fine.
Riting.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
You've been coming here for quite some time, man.
I need to learn the language now.
You should learn the language.
Yeah, I should.
There's only one way to learn the language, but we find a way how to teach you the language.
That's right.
Because I've been to Kenya, I think, 2 times, 3 times, but I can say Mzuri Sana.
At least you got something.
I think I know about 3 or 4 ways.
There's this saying that says you can't teach an old dog new tricks. I don't know if that's true.
I think it depends on the dog. Whether it's in the mood to learn or not. But it's good to have you, my brother.
Thank you for having me here.
So how's the weather in Gaborone?
No, it's good, and it's basically the same thing as we have in Kenya right now. Although a bit of rains, but the weather is just pretty much the same. Yeah, so feels like home, Yeah, there's no culture shock in terms of weather, so it feels basically almost the same. Yeah.
Tell us about your travel. How was the flight coming here?
It was long.
Yeah, sometimes people say it's always difficult to travel in Africa.
Yeah, man, because we had to be stuck in SA for 5 hours waiting for a 45-minute flight. So I was joking with one of my coaches and I was telling him I think we could have just taken a bus.
We'd have arrived at the same time.
Yeah, we could have arrived almost the same time, but it was good either way. We were here, and it's exciting to be in Botswana always.
So what are you doing here?
So this time we're coming for the Lefika Relays, which is happening tomorrow on the 28th of April. More or less, for me, it's about history. I'm part of the team that's going to make history because we're going to participate in the 4x100 mixed relay for the first time. And it's exciting because it's a new journey that we're starting for Kenyan sprinting, to be specific, just to make sure that this continues and the journey continues from where we're starting from tomorrow.
Is there pressure?
Basically, there's no pressure. For me, I'm using it as a way of also getting into the season and just initiating myself into the season. And it's a good way to start because relays for me is fun. And we have to spread the pressure across the 4 guys. So for me, it's fun and just a way of getting back into competition. And competition is competition. It doesn't matter if it's relays, if it's individual races. Still, competition is competition. So for me, it's an initiation back into competition. Yeah.
I guess you'll be the leader of the 2 events that or the entire team. Yeah,
definitely. They look to me as a role model, and I really love that because we have really changed the narrative in Kenya in terms of sprinting. So, not necessarily being a captain, because I don't think I work well as a captain, but just being a leader and being part of the team and just being with them for me is everything. Yeah.
How are the preparations and what should we expect? And how crucial is it for Kenya to qualify for the World Relays?
So definitely we've qualified for some events. We're in all the other events apart from the 4x1 mixed and the 4x1 women. So that's what we're trying to just push them up and hopefully they can get up and qualify. But we've really changed a lot in terms of sprinting. We're having a World Championships, the relay teams in the World Championships. So for me, that's great. That's a blessing. And tomorrow is all about just practicing and having a feel of the stadium, the new stadium as well before the World Relays, and just to have this competition now mode start to kick in because now the season is up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Talking of the season, last season you were a bit not that active. What was happening?
Last season was it was a bit down because I got an injury towards the end of the season, just before the World Championships, a month before the World Championships. But again, we didn't achieve what we wanted to achieve because that was the first season since I became pro that I didn't run a sub-10. For me, that was a blow. But again, I looked at it from a positive perspective because I did medal in a couple of Diamond Leagues and made it to the Diamond League finals and all that. But as you said, I was active, but not as I used to be. But then sport is sport. Sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down, but the most important thing is how to get back up and just keep going.
I suppose there's that load that we carry, especially in Kenya,
Yeah.
not just Nairobi, in Kenya, as one person who has actually pioneered sprints in that country. How does it feel and how do we handle it?
For me, it doesn't feel like pressure because I look at it as a privilege, and like firstborns. Firstborns are always there to just guide the other children. So for me, that's the opportunity that I have, and I believe that I was given that opportunity by God to just like carry the nation's dream and just awaken this sleeping giant that was sleeping in Kenya, because we didn't really believe in that. And belief is one thing that very important, especially in our field. You might be pushing your body so much, but your mind is not into it. So now that really changes the perception of what you're doing. So for me, being in that position as the fastest guy in Africa and having records in different sprint events in the country, it's a show that anything can happen. And not just for athletes, even for other people in different fields. You just have to believe in yourself, and then you carry that torch that you've been given that mandate to carry, and just work with it. Yeah.
You have a younger brother that you are running with. How are you molding him, or how are you guiding him?
Of course, I'm looking forward to having him run his first sub-10 sooner, because my journey was longer because there was a lot of mixed things, trying this, trying that, not really definite plan for us, but for him it's a definite plan. He already has a blueprint of success and guidance that we're getting from me. And previously I didn't have anything. I didn't have anyone to look up to, because everyone was looking up to me.
Exactly.
And it's like, there was a lot of shooting in the dark.
Yes.
But for him, he made a guidance. So I'm just excited to see how his journey is going to be, and how many opportunities he's going to get from this. And for him, it's easier, and I just love that he decided to take this up, because it's in the family now.
So tomorrow, yeah, one of the teams that you'll be facing. Even though I haven't seen the
start
start
list and
list.
stuff, yeah.
Botswana obviously will be there. What are your expectations, and what do you think? What's your reaction to the Botswana relay, just generally, especially that the defending champions, the world champions, in the men's 4x4 and stuff like that. What are you looking forward to seeing tomorrow?
Actually, I must commend the Botswana men for everything they have achieved, because at some point from a distance it looked like, man, this thing is going to be hard. But then the way they do it effortlessly, and the talent that's coming up ever since 2022, 2021, it's just exciting to see. And I'm happy to be in this generation where sprints is now being given a space on the table in the world, because of what we and Botswana are achieving and the rest of Africa is achieving. So it's commendable, and it's just nice to see even the country supporting the athletes, and it's a very commendable job that they're doing. And just to keep encouraging them, and whatever they're doing right now, each of those athletes just hold a hand of someone, just grow with someone, give someone guidance, because I know right now they already have the plan, they already have the blueprint. So now it's just about how long will this take? We want it to be as long as it can.
Exactly.
And of course tomorrow, looking forward to tomorrow. I mean, for the 4x1 relay mixed, for me is about fun. It's about enjoying this opportunity that we've been given. It's a sport that we never even imagined that could ever happened, because ladies running the 100 meters and then handing the baton to a man of 100 meters, there's a lot of calculations that needs to be made there. But then it for me, tomorrow is about having fun, having that stick and hoping that stick goes round to the finish line. and just having that baton and, you know, run with it and just have fun and you know, just have fun.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You have created a bond with some of our athletes, especially Letsile. You've been competing with him for quite some time now.
Yeah.
I suppose you have his number in your
phone. Yeah. We talk once in a while, and I was planning something in Kenya as well, so I reached out to him and I was like, yeah, I'll come over and all that. So I'm planning a night of sprints kind of event.
Oh, okay.
So an event just to bring together sprinters from as low as primary schools up to the elite level. So I wanted to have these sprinters just see the guys that have done well in this continent. So I reached out to him and was like, yeah, I'll come over. You just let me know. So yeah, we talk. Yeah. And
can you give me a call?
Yeah, we can. Let me see if he'll pick up. Sorry. Let's see if he'll pick up. Yeah. You're sleeping, man?
No, I'm training.
Okay, yeah, I figured. I am in your country, man. I need to get a good place to eat.
What kind of food do you wanna eat?
Local food.
Local food. Okay, let me call somebody.
Aish. King. All right, man. I just wanted to check up on you. Thanks. All right, man. I appreciate it.
We are talking of a new season that is coming up. We've got you are starting off with the continental tours, moving on to the diamond leagues.
Yeah.
How is your season looking, and how prepared are you for it?
This time I'm pretty confident because we've been working off and we've been working so hard as well, because it's been a great season, pre-season. So now it's about now putting that training of the pre-season into action. So now that's why I'm so excited to start competing, because I want to see what we've been doing for the last couple of months has really been working, you know. So that's why we have a couple of races lined up. I'm an athlete who loves competing, so I just can't wait to start even tomorrow. I mean, that excitement, the adrenaline of just being on that track. It's been a while. It's been a while to be since we ran outdoors, so I just can't wait to start.
This year it seems like the continental tour calendar is a bit squeezed.
A bit tight,
a bit tight.
Yeah.
How are you going to be able to juggle it? Because you have Cape Kano, then you'll be flying down to Botswana for the Botswana Golden Rain. How don't you think that might affect you a bit?
I mean, like we planned it with my team and we were like, yeah, this is tight, but I mean, you never know. Because if we don't try it, we'll never know how it feels, because we never know, we don't know if there'll be any other season that will have such a tight schedule. So exciting stuff. I love traveling, I love competing, so finish Cape Kano, pack my bags and travel.
Will you be going for the Commonwealth?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm the defending champion in 100 meters, so that's on me now to just make sure that we get it right and defend that title come July. Yeah.
You know, we've got these young stars that are coming up well in Botswana. We've got the likes of Colin, the likes of Justice. There's this issue of management, the issue of brand ambassadorship, where sometimes they can even come across people who might take advantage of them. You know, what's the importance of a contract for an athlete, or what is it that as an athlete you look out for when you get into such things like you know, signing with a certain manager or becoming an ambassador for a certain brand?
One thing I want to tell athletes across the world is education is very important. You know, like I understand that money and fame comes sometimes before you finish your schooling and stuff, but we don't go to school to get jobs and money. We go to school to get the knowledge. So you see, that knowledge that you get from school is what will help you now start reading your contracts and start to understand what does this guy want from the onset. You know, like for me, when I go to university, I've interacted with people from different backgrounds, from different cultures. So once you start approaching me and you start speaking, I'll just understand this guy is in for something, or maybe is genuine. Sometimes it's hard to know, but once you have that knowledge, you can get to understand. So on to that point of brand ambassadorship, I mean, apart from school, branding is not just in track. branding is not how you perform. Branding is what you do after that finish line. Branding is how you operate and treat people and, you know, make these fans appreciate the value of their time and their money for those tickets and those stadiums. So I see many athletes just finish off the track and they leave. For me, it's different. You know, you have to create something that people will love. You have to come up with something that people will love. Come up with a line that people will relate with, you know. So, and it's wide. There's a lot of ideas out here that you can use to market yourself. You know, there's a lot of things that you can do because there's never been and there will never be another Omanyala. You know, Omanyala is just one.
Exactly.
So you have to get something that it's relatable to Omanyala. Let's say there will never be another Letsile Tebogo. You understand? So get something that's relatable to that and that people will love. And that's how brands now will start coming and they'll be like, yeah, apart from track, what else does this guy do? You know, that's what they ask. Like, apart from track, what else do you do apart from running? So that's something that we need to get our athletes to understand, and as well as, you know, don't be camera shy. You know, media builds us. As much as they say the media builds and the media destroys, I don't see how they can destroy something that I've built so big to become so big.
Exactly.
So I mean, like, let's love the cameras. Let's love how to interact with cameras. When you go for an interview, let's say abroad, and you are not confident in speaking English, speak in your native language. They'll always find a translator.
True. You know, talking of being media friendly, I think that's one of the issues that, you know, especially locally, we struggle to interview the elite athletes. You know, they always have that excuse, you know, I'm busy, you know, I don't have time, I'm training, or they can just, you know, switch off. They can just ignore you. No calls,
I mean,
no texts.
and not just here. I've seen that across the world because some of the athletes, some of them, their characters and the characteristics are not just like media friendly, but let's try even that 10-20% of getting into it. Because if the media is reading my name, people are reading my name like every week, there's something I've said or something I've done or something, you know, like it's just being out there. And now we're in a world where media has taken over. Like you can do a lot of things just seated here, but you can communicate to an audience in the US just while you're here. You understand?
You know, I remember last year when Botswana was arriving from Tokyo at the airport. I tried to interview one of the guys. I was like, no, I'm not interested. Guys, why?
I mean, I just wish that people can really understand how to ride on some waves. You know, some waves they come maybe once in a while and once in a lifetime. You know, if you don't ride on that, then you never know when the next wave will come. So, and one of the easiest ways I've come to understand is the media. And once they start loving you, they don't even charge you for anything. You know, they just want you in their cameras. They want you in front of their screens, and they want you just to speak. You know,
I always see the way you're always interacting with media. We really thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have built me. You know, every time I go to a country and, you know, they get to me more than their stars, you know, and I feel like this is really exciting and humbling. And with that, I mean, I've managed to get a lot of things. I've managed to do a lot of things within 4 years that I've been a pro athlete. Yeah.
I saw recently in the news that you have opened a training academy.
Yeah, the Sprint Club. Yeah, the Omanyala Sprint Club. So my main aim with the Sprint Club is just to make sure that whatever I've done is going to continue. We're not going to stop with what I've done. So now we're just giving these kids guidance, and we're looking to sign a couple of partnerships with different countries so that we can have exchange programs, because there are those countries that have already achieved in terms of sprinting. They already have that pathway. They already have kids running very fast in high schools, you know. So that's what I want to bring into the country, because our high school and primary schools, you go to a school and they don't even know how to go onto your marks. Exactly. And they're doing a sprint event in the national championship. So that's one thing that I want to change, and that's why I got into schools. We are setting up sprint clubs in schools, and we want to just give them professional training. And I want them to start now understanding that there's physiotherapies, there's nutritionists, there's everything professional about sprinting from that young age. So by the time they're getting to like 17, 18, they already understand now the all perception of sprinting. So when they get into the world, they're just going in for opportunities. And of course, just guiding them and learning and making them to learn how I've the things that I've gotten from the sprint. So that's why we started the sprint club. But the main aim is just this dream doesn't die.
Exactly.
You know, yeah.
You know, there's an issue that is actually bothering us in this country when it comes to athletics, our success. You know, anti-doping.
Yeah.
You know, we have recently started receiving a lot of cases of anti-doping. What's your advice to our athletes regarding this issue of doping?
I mean, there's one thing that's really eating up athletes right now, the whereabouts, that one. And every time I meet athletes and I tell them, make that application like Instagram or Facebook or TikTok, because you go into these apps like frequently. In an hour you get there like 4-6 times. So why don't we make these the same way as we can make the Athlete Central, the app that's responsible for your updating whereabouts? So that's one thing that I tell athletes, like make it your thing, like get in there and just
Like
check.
a ritual. It should be a ritual that you do
so
every
that
day.
you don't miss any test, because I see athletes getting banned because of missed tests, and for me it's really sad. And another thing about now the doping issue, I understand we want, you know, we're in a generation that wants quick money, quick fame and all these things, but it's not worth it. Because for me, I believe good things take time and everything has to be progressive. You know, like for me, it took me 4 years to get from 10.4 to 10.0. So you see, with 4 years, every day you're trying to just repeat all these things that you're doing so that you can get better and better. But shortcuts are not worth it.
Indeed.
I know, like in Botswana right now, there's a lot of spotlight into athletics. So get maybe an athlete who is young, wants to be there as well. One day you'll get there. True. Just trust the process. You know, just trust the process, and one day you'll be on a banknote as well. Let's not get as swayed, as sometimes it's because of the pressure maybe you're being given by your manager or your coach or your teammates. It's not worth it. I mean, like, once it happens to you, you are alone in this. Because I've been there before. Nobody cares, you know. Nobody cares about you. Nobody even wants to associate with you.
Exactly.
So it's not worth it. And then the problem is, you'll be up there for maybe a season, and then you're out again for the rest of the seasons. It's not worth. I mean, one thing I learned about athletics is what brings all these things around is the consistency. So you being consistent in year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, just being up there, being performing really well, that's what brings success, basically. But then one season and you're out really can't make you can't give you whatever you think you'll get.
Indeed.
Yeah.
We are in the build-up to the World Athletics Relays in 2026, and one of the things that has already come up is that the American 4x4 teams are out. How did you react to that?
It was funny because it's a world relays, and we expect for you to become a world champion, we have to have all these countries here. So it was a bit unfair, and whatever reason they gave, I don't think was reasonable. So,
the reason was not
reasonable. The reason was not reasonable. But again, every country understands what they want and whatever they think is right for them, and they have their officials and guys to make these decisions. So definitely, we'll miss that competition. But anyway, it's up to them.
It's one of those things.
Yeah.
My brother, it's always a pleasure having you.
Thank you, man.
And
Thank you.
before I let you go,
Yeah.
there's that, I don't know what you call it. Is it a celebration or your intro? Whenever the commentator will be busy introducing Ferdinand Omanyala from when the camera is on you, be like,
You remember what thing we have said in this interview that you have to come up with something unique, you know, like now that's my unique stuff. So every time I go into these big races and sometimes I see on the stand someone is doing that, especially when I'm being introduced, I'm like, yeah, man, that's identity.
Okay, take me.
So this is the first thing I do. So that means doesn't matter who is on my left or right. All of you guys are nothing, you know. So, and then there's the flag that's always here. Pop it out and roll it up and bring it back. And then this was something very famous during those days. I came up with this during Tokyo. So there's a dub. That's just something interesting. Just threw something interesting into it. And then there's that. So there's a cheetah. The cheetah is the fastest animal, as I see. Yeah. So then we go.
Okay, now let's do it now. I understand what it means, so let's just go for it.
Yeah, so it's... And then... Identity, I love that you asked that.
I know it's great. I'm just looking forward to it.
Yeah, man. So that's me. So, I mean, it's interesting that people can relate to that and say, that's Ferdinand. Even if I'm put in a dark room and I start doing that, I'm like, that's the guy.
Thank you so much for your time.
Appreciate it, man. We'll be seeing you guys frequently this year. So
we'll see you in a few weeks.
Yeah. I'm hoping next time we can come to the studios and have these chats and, encourage and educate the youth as well. Indeed. And talk to athletes as well. Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Bye-bye. That was Ferdinand Omanyala, ladies and gentlemen, all the way from Nairobi, Kenya. I think is it from the East West, what do you call your home village?
Oh, Kitale.
Yeah, all the way from Kitale in Kenya. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. And thank you for your support. All the best. From me and the rest of the team, bye-bye.